Rightio, so just sanitising my yeast vial there, just a plastic cup, does the trick. And while that's happening, I'm just boiling up some light dry malt extract in here, just sort of to make sure I've got some sterile water and something fairly decent to kickstart the yeast with. So let that roll, and once that's done, then we will add our yeast in and give it a good 2 days kickstart. Just sorting out some cleaning the night before, because I don't want to get up in the morning, have to clean all this stuff and then do my brew day. I think this way will be much more efficient. So yeah, here's some stuff that I'm doing. Fermenter's got sanitizer in it, just leaving it there to sit. Sanitizer, a few more things to clean here, and man, I can't find my thermometer, which is a bit of a problem, so I'll have to search high and low for that. Okay, here we are on brew day. Just got this borrowed sort of boiler set up, so just heating up the mash water or strike water. So it's about 60 degrees at the moment. I want to get it up to about 80, and I've got about 20 litres in there, so I'll just give that a moment. So I've got the strike water up to 80 degrees exactly, so I've turned off the burner, and I'm going to pop that straight into the mash tun and get the grains in, just do it all in one big go. Right, so I've filled up the mash tun, got all the grains, whacked them in there and gave it a really decent stir. So that's all good to go. That landed on about 68 degrees, so pretty good starting temperature. So I'll let that sit for 1 hour. Just having a look at the all grain brewing timeline that I drew up. So it looks like we're on track, on schedule. So yeah, doing good. Cool. So the mash is done, and I'm just getting it spilt out into the boiling pot, and I'll do a sparge shortly. Temperature held really well. That finished up about 65, so I'll sparge that, and hopefully we'll get a nice full conversion. So yeah, just doing a little bit of sparging, just tipping a little bit in at a time, just bringing it back and forward. And yeah, no, look at the colour, really dark, like a really nice browny red sort of hue to it. So yeah, it should be quite a nice colour on this one. I'd say it's probably going to end up being more of an amber ale. Yeah, anyway, I'll carry on with this. Alright, so the sparge is all done. Just coming down to our last dribbles. I've tried forcing more out as well, and look at that, we're already boiling, so might start adding some hops. Right, so I've got all my hop additions here. I've just used one, so that's at the start of the 1 hour boil, and that was 10 grams of Simcoe. I've also got 10 grams, 10 grams, 10 grams, 10 grams, and this is where I changed it up. I changed it from the initial recipe just to be more interesting. That's got 10 grams of Simcoe, that's the 10-minute addition, and it's also got 10 grams of Amarillo, so that's pretty cool. Now this addition was meant to be 40 grams of Simcoe. I've added 20 grams of Amarillo to it, and that's for the whirlpool at the end. So that's what we've done here, and I've just used some digital scales for that, so really nice and accurate for that sort of thing. Cool. Cool, so just sorting out the whirlpool now. I've just added the last set of hops, so that's the hop schedule all sorted, and I've also popped in a few litres of ice, and they've almost melted now, so I think they've done the trick. I mean, they've obviously taken some of the heat away, and yeah, the copper coil's in full swing, so hopefully we have this cooling down real soon. I'll just whirlpool for probably 10 minutes in total, and then I'll just put the lid back on and let it all cool down. Right, so I'm just starting to clean up a few things now. The water's actually doing quite well. I think it's only been about 15-20 minutes and it's already down to about 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, so not too bad. Rightio, so I've siphoned it all into here and then topped it up to 22.5 litres because I've still got to add some yeast, which I made about a 500ml yeast starter. It looks like the original gravity is 1067.5, so that's temperature corrected, by the way, that's why we get the 0.5 at the end. So I'm just going to work out what sort of alcohol we're looking at, and then I'll add the yeast in. Rightio, so she's away in there starting off the fermentation. Fridge is doing alright, it's keeping things at about 18-19 degrees, which is pretty cool. Did quick calculations, and I actually found out that the gravity calculation ended up, I think it was going to be between 6 and 7.5% ABV alcohol. So not exactly imperial, but then again I called it a double, not imperial. Double the grain, double the hops, all that sort of stuff. So hopefully that works. So yeah, awesome aromas from the hops during the brew day. Man, I was getting like really fruity sort of notes from the Amarillo. Bit of citrus as well, kind of like a orangey sort of citrus, not so much lemon. And the Simcoe hops, I was getting like a kind of a I don't know, it was kind of like almost earthy, sort of like a dull sort of aroma, but then you had that sort of sharp edge, sort of generic hoppy aroma to them. I mean, that was just the hop pellets. I mean, they haven't finished doing their thing yet, so we don't know really what they're going to be like, but that was just what I was getting from them. Everything actually went quite smoothly. I ended up getting everything done in 4.5 hours, so I was pretty stoked on that. I guess that's what happens when you have the right equipment and stuff, which I borrowed. And another thing, I mean, the only thing that was really annoying was I snapped my brewing spoon just by lifting and flipping the grain in the mash tun. So lesson learned there, might have to go and get me a stronger spoon. No worries, because I did some stirring with a like a baking spoon, so no worries there. Finished the job, did alright for you guys. This is my homebrewed double American pale ale, or amber ale. Probably just go with pale ale, covers the base. It is it is a little bit cloudy because basically what happened was the bottles ended up a little bit overcarbed, and so each time you crack one open, it all just comes up. It kind of gushes a little bit, so that kind of stirs up the the cake at the bottom, the trub. So, and another point, I guess, is that there's probably a good 0.5 centimetre of trub in each bottle, so it's a lot of sediment. So, with that said, we probably can't quite tell much about the appearance or hue of the beer. I mean, holding it up to the sun or the light, for example, I'm kind of getting a dark orange, but it's very cloudy, so it's hard to tell for sure. Not really any head on this one, just a little bit of lacing around the edge, bit of a ring there, and a very carbonated appearance, a lot of bubbles coming up. So with this beer though, surprisingly, I got 10th place in our homebrew competition recently, so that was pretty cool. I was quite surprised. So yeah, I guess that style of beer, or maybe this particular one from that style, people enjoyed. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, we should probably do a quick review, just so you guys can see how the beer turned out. Cat's running around meowing down here and the traffic's blaring over there, so hopefully you can hear this okay. I'll give you a bit of an aroma profile on it. Cool. So picking up kind of like a slight citrusy, zesty almost aroma, and just a hint of pine in there as well. Kind of a sweet malt, and I think that comes through from the 2 kilos of what was it? 2 kilos of Crystal 60 that I put in it. So that'll be giving it that sweet maltiness, I'd imagine. The rest of it's just 2 rye, but yeah, not really getting a lot else in there. Maybe just a hint of an off flavour in there, like a funny aroma. Now I don't know whether it's an ester from the yeast or not. I used USO 5, I kept it at 21 degrees, which should hopefully be just in that sweet spot, so or maybe some sort of contamination, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, we'll go on for the flavour. Cheers. So surprisingly, it appears to be well balanced. You've got a bit of bitterness up front with that sweetness, and just carries through till the end. No real lingering bitterness that hangs around, so that's pretty cool. Almost clean, almost a clean ending to it. There's just a little bit of like malt and a slight off flavour that hangs around there. So there's definitely that off flavour in there through the aroma and the flavour. There's a few bugs flying around out here. Right, so the hops. It's a tricky one. The hops have toned down. This beer is a few months old now. I'd say even maybe 3 or 4 months old. So, probably 4. Probably closer to 4 months old now. So the hops are kind of dying down a bit. I'm noticing that. So it's a shame that I'm only just getting around to the review now. There though, there's a fruity, citrusy flavour. Not too citrusy. It's not really in your face. It's actually sits there nicely in the background, and just a hint of pine as well. Probably more a floral sort of flavour from the hops. Yeah, probably more floral, and I think the sweetness from the malt, kind of complements that. Sort of works well together. So yeah, that's pretty cool. If I could get this beer clearer and maybe try and brew it again at maybe a lower temperature, just to see if we get rid of that off flavour, then cool. You know, we could have a good beer on our hands, and this could be a regular. It's double, 7.5%, so you know, not your session beer, but certainly has enough flavour to sort of savour and just drink a little bit at a time, you know, and sort of have one on the Friday night and enjoy it, sort of thing. Yeah, that cloudiness is it's a bit of a pain though, because I don't know, like half of me says, who cares, you know, it's cloudy, whatever, as long as it tastes good. But the other half of me sort of says, you know, while you're drinking it and looking at it, it'd be nice to be clear, because then you're not seeing a murky beer and going, oh, is it going to taste murky, you know. So there's kind of two sides of me there that kind of clash a little, but I think it's good. I think it's a good all grain beer, and I haven't done many all grains, so to splurge out and do a double American Pale Ale, I think I've done okay with it. So yeah, I've got a few bottles left of this. I bottled it in 750 mils. So that gave me probably not a lot of bottles, but it certainly has lasted, because I did leave it a whole month, tried it, left it another whole month, tried it, and just left it again until the competition, and now I suppose, so not bad. Yeah, so that's that. Hope you enjoyed the video, brewing and reviewing. Cheers, catch ya.